When you think of Dark Souls, a lot of different things can come to mind. Bleak landscapes, horrifying monsters, and powerful weapons. But what if I told you that I think of a 16-bit Game Boy Advance game from 2002? Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, Mega Man Battle Network 3. So, in case you haven't played a Battle Network game, I'll run over the basics real fast. I'm specifically talking about Battle Network 3 in this video, but all of the games in the series are fairly similar. The Battle Network series combines fast-paced, real-time combat with card game elements. It does this through a selection screen where you queue up your chips, powerful moves to be used during the next round of combat. Then, once you're in the fight, you move around on a 3x3 grid. The A button uses your chips, while the B button uses your weaker basic attack. And that's it! Now you know how to play Mega Man Battle Network. Which leads me to my first similarity between Dark Souls and MMBN. It's easy to learn the controls, but once you jump into the game, you're going to die. A lot. You will probably die, and die, and die some more. Going back to these games as an adult, I am consistently baffled as to how I ever beat them as a kid. I'm better able to recognize patterns now, and I can certainly put together the deck of chips more intelligently than I could then. And I still get lit up in the harder fights. In an era where Dark Souls is celebrated for being so brutally difficult, this is the game that gives me nightmares. It gets even funnier once you dig into why these games are difficult, because there are plenty of similarities there too. Regular enemies are not really supposed to be threatening. They have really simple attack patterns and AI, so they can be easily manipulated and forced to do dumb things while you rip them up. At the same time, those same enemies cut off your options in a way that means too many at once can easily overwhelm you, where one would have been easily dispatched. Which brings us to the bosses. In Dark Souls, the bosses are the payoff of the game. They're bigger and more impressive, have more varied attacks, and require a little more effort to beat. In Mega Man Battle Network 3, the bosses are other net-navis like Mega Man. They have more health, they hit harder, and they have quicker movement and attacks. And just like Dark Souls, the key to these fights is learning. On the first try, most bosses will hit you a bunch of times. But as you learn their patterns and how to specifically dodge what they're doing, you'll gradually get better at the fight until you can beat them. Assuming, of course, that you don't get lazy or slow. Just like Dark Souls, even a fight you overlevel and know well will kill you if you screw up. There are even more similarities in the gameplay, all based around rewarding precise timing and option selection. Where Dark Souls has parrying, MMBN has counters. One game rewards you with powerful attacks, while the other actually gives you a resource, but it's the same basic idea. Another similarity is downplaying RPG aspects. You get more health, but even at max health, you still kinda just die to stronger enemies after 3 or 4 hits. At the same time, both games are complex enough that some strategies wind up being a bit stronger than they were probably supposed to be. A fine balance between the player character is weak and the player character laughs in the face of gods. I love the Mega Man Battle Network series. They combine viscerally fun, fast-paced action gameplay with the strategy and randomness of card games, which is a uniquely satisfying experience. There's never been another series quite like it, no matter how much I wish there were. If you're a fan of challenging but rewarding games, I hope you'll consider giving these a try. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.